The ball ring in the center of Birmingham, and the balls are right now in Dota 2 because they're going head-to-head in our final game of Group C. It is Mineski versus LFY. Mineski just scraping through with a win in the first game. I say scraping, it was they kind of edged there. They got there eventually over LFY, who had a very unusual draft in game one. I wonder what we'll see in game number 2, whether they'll go for traditional or maybe something a little bit out there for a second game in a row. But they are up against it as they head into this second game. Remember, Mineski win this, they go through to the quarterfinals, and they will face a team that came through Group B earlier on, Pain Gaming, having taken out Team Liquid. So an incredible lineup that we'll have in that final 6 if Mineski can get through. Gents, we're back with Nahaz and Capitalisto. Just before we get into this game, I just want to reflect a little bit on the teams that are already through.
I mean,
because it's crazy. You get Optic in the semi-finals already.
Sure.
That's great. Great for PPD and the boys. They're top 4 guaranteed. Got some points in the board. Virtus Pro on the other side of the bracket, so that's good news for Optic as well, because they're on the other side of the bracket. They'll face the winners between Pain and the winners of this game. We'll go and play Virtus Pro. Fnatic will take on OG and play Optic.
Wow. I have a hard time seeing past the Pain result. That's just so huge to me. But yeah, I think we're going to have a great, when you look at the names that went out of this tournament early, right, you start to get concerned about the quality of the field, but we're going to have a great last 3 days of play here at this tournament.
Yeah, if this was 6 months ago, we could definitely say that, like, wow, some upsets happen, and what we wouldn't say would be the fields for the playoffs is going to be really bad. But we're approaching TI. Like, every team that's at a tournament now, or almost every team, is going to look really good. So, yeah, every single one of these teams, Optic is just growing more and more. Pain is obviously looking the best that they've ever looked so far. And, well, these two teams, if LFY can beat Mineski, I think it would be a road back to form for them.
Yeah, I just think as LFY, you gave a great description of the core matchups and the way the Bloodseeker, Leshrac, Bristleback Tricor was supposed to work out. The problem, though, is that you're still left with a lineup that really needs to win the game through this 20, 25, 30-minute skirmishes and has no initiation apart from the Sand King. You look at the Mineski heroes, you look at the Pango, Elder Titan, Bane, even Dragon Knight, all 4 of those heroes have ways to start a fight. In LGD FY, your other support is Coddle behind that Tricor combination, and it really is only the Afu Sand King that gives you the ability to dictate those engagements. And you look back to how this team had success at TI last year, it was the constant threat of initiation from Inflame playing out of vision around the map that made playing against this team so difficult. I just don't see that in a draft like Game 1.
Yeah, it was definitely a very different kind of strategy from LFY, both in what's being run in the meta right now, but also for LFY themselves. Meanwhile, I think Mineski had like a very standard draft. I mean, the ET super good versus the Bristleback, but I think the Pango is part of the problem for any of these lineups that LFY showed in that last game, where it's very kill heavy. If you have any sort of hero that shoves out lanes really well, it'll just naturally stall out the game a lot because you just can't afford to be able to give up that kind of ground. You always have to go back and, you know, basically do what I call lane maintenance, right?
Sure.
The lane gets shoved in, you have to go back and, you know, go back to your tier 2, push the lane forward again, and then you just naturally lose more and more ground if you don't have enough wave clear to be able to cover that. And you can have your own wave clear, but you also need to be able to have some scaling mechanisms, and I think that LFY, their lineup just wasn't going to do well enough. Like, the game was even-ish at like 10, 15 minutes, and I felt like it was still Mineski were very, very ahead in the game.
You just could, even with LFY playing better than I expected in the early game, you could just still feel that window closing as the game went on. And I like that you mentioned the wave clear of the Pango now for the second time, because it reminds me a lot of a conversation I had with Fog earlier today about the Darkseers, and to some extent the Doom as well. But you talk about these heroes that are tanky, and they're these disruptive presences in team fights. They build a lot of utility items, but when you add wave clear to that, they're so annoying in the team fights, and they're able to push out the lanes around the map. That's what makes these heroes so difficult to play against. That's what allows them to control the pace of these games so well.
Yeah, and then on top of everything else, even if you do make some sort of rotation to try and kill that hero while he's pushing out a side lane, the problem is that with Darkseer and Doom and these kind of heroes, is that they're very tanky.
Yes.
So they make for the worst targets to go on if it's a team fight. So if you go on that hero and all of a sudden it's 4-man smoke behind the hero, like you're just screwed. Like, oh, we win on a Doom, and it ends up being a 5-on-5. Well, I guess we lost. So.
And then he buys back because that's really cheap, and
Yeah.
you're screwed anyway.
All right, into
Wow.
draft number 2.
First phase Medusa ban. I like this from Mineski. This is scouting yesterday. The other game that they won against Newbie, that game 2 was the Divine Rapier Medusa comeback against Mega Creeps. They're going to take it out in the first phase, sensing that LGD-FY is going to go away from the strat that they ran in game 1.
Not much of a surprise if they went away from the strat that they
Well,
ran in
okay,
game
fair
1.
enough. All right, fair enough.
I think what I think the draft that I really like from them was what they had Pugna for Super. I remember that. Maybe it wasn't Super, actually. Maybe he was playing the Razor in that game.
I'm good with Pugna. I think Gyro and Clock are the 2 heroes that you think about Mineski taking in the first phase here. I think you can stay very standard, make LFY show that they can beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Pugna they played, you talking about the Pugna they played yesterday against Newbie?
they lost to Newbie.
Yeah, they lost the game, but it was a Pugna Razor ET Gyro Bane.
I just remember thinking that when I saw Pugna being picked for LFY, I was like, oh yeah, that's one of the heroes that they do very well with. Yeah, in part because I think it's a combination of good team fighter and objective taker.
Yeah,
but
we
again,
saw Pain play it very effectively earlier as well.
Mineski are going to go back to the look that they showed at DAC with this first pick, Nature's Prophet. A lot of teams wanting to take that out. They played it in 3 different positions. They played it both support roles in that tournament. Jabs in particular looked hugely disruptive with this hero in the early game.
So it does mean whenever you pick up this Furion, it means the enemy team just has to find some way to be able to deal with the laning phase, very disruptive presence of a Furion where you just throw treants at you a whole bunch. Because it's either your offlane, I was going to say the most common one is Jakiro, I think, because Jakiro is such a stat-heavy offlane support that he doesn't feel very threatened by the harassment, and his damage is very insane from, not Liquid Fire, Dual Breath.
Yeah. And I hope to see him going away from the max Ice Path build here, depending on what LGD-FY pick up. The other thing about the Nature's Prophet pickup is that the weakness of the Furion lineup tends to be the lack of initiation. But, well, LGD-FY really struggled in that department in the previous game. So you're not as worried about them capitalizing on that. I do like the Gyrocopter here, both as a block pick and because LGD have shown the power of that Gyrocopter Jakiro safe lane in terms of guaranteeing that Gyrocopter almost free farm against a lot of these strong aggro dual lanes.
Yeah, when you're facing up against the Furion, it goes a little bit back and forth in that you can't be as aggressive with your Rocket Barrage on your offensive nature of Gyrocopter in lane, but it also means he's a range carry, which he's less threatened by any sort of treant run-at-you spam, so...
It's the 14th game here at ESL One Birmingham for Gyrocopter, the most picked.
Yeah, and again, he was most picked at MDL and still had a 60% win rate at that tournament. It's just a hero that's, it's about the hero is a credible spread damage carry late, but he's also able to contribute even in lineups where he is not the most fun.
And he's not a high ban, first phase ban choice usually. So second phase for sure, but first phase ban, not many teams will ban him out against others because they're not thinking he's incredibly powerful. But he's
I would
just powerful enough.
Mineski,
yeah, against a couple of teams potentially. Yeah. But it's toolkit, isn't it? Isn't that why he's still in the meta?
Sure.
Rather than insane power or any particular ability or synergy with other players, it's about the toolkit.
Especially when you see him first in the draft, right? It's about the breadth of his toolkit, right?
Ban away probably the best forward position you can get with Jakiro in the Clockwork. I think Clockwork's just really strong right now.
I expected Mineski to take that.
Yeah.
Oh, but then, okay, LGD, all right, LGD-FY are going to have this ban. This is one of the recent changes. They're going to have this ban into pick to open up the second phase. So Mineski, the Clockwork off the board makes a little more sense for Mineski now.
Yeah, you effectively get 3 bans in phase 2.
Would you call that a minor change in the patch?
I would call it a pretty big patch change.
I mean, I think eventually it proves to be a decent sized change. I think initially, before the teams have a chance to really theory craft and draft around it, it's pretty minor.
It has changed that second phase ban though, isn't it?
Very nice.
Look at that. The Abaddon Underlords they know that with the Dragonite already in the pool, like they're going to have a problem getting enough damage out, especially from their Gyrocopter.
So a lot of focus on Ice, Ice, Ice again.
Yeah, especially because there's always the potential to run Ice, Ice, Ice on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, got rid of his, is that Pango ban as well, first phase?
Yeah.
They are, although it does have to be said, they are in the last 10 times they've run the Furion, they are 7-1 with jabs on the Nature's Prophet, only 1-1 with Ice, Ice, Ice on that hero. So it is more than likely support.
Yeah, they've pretty much run it. In fact, they have run it as support ever since 7.11.
Look, I know it's not in the meta. I know it is vulnerable to the laning counter picks, but I want to see an inflamed Batrider. I really do.
I want to see a Techies, but that's about as
Get out
likely as happening as that.
Get off my... Oh my god.
Sand
Slacks has infected you.
Still out there.
So I don't know how I stand with Slacks, right? Because we're anti-Windrunner.
Spirit instead.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Wow,
so,
that hasn't been out for a while.
and this is an Afu special. Afu, at some point last year, Afu was right up there. Afu, GH, and Tims were my 3 top-rated Earth Spirit players going into TI last year. I still think he is amazing on his hero. It's fallen out of the meta for sure, but I really like this. It solves that initiation issue that they had in the last match.
I'm a bit surprised because
we've had at ESL One as well.
Sand King still gives you that same initiation factor. Maybe, in fact, he's even better at the initiation because it's a hard initiation. But it's also because I always like Sand King versus the Furion because he's such a good support or core at being able to just like push out waves really quickly, and that just helps negate some of the problems that Furion brings to the table.
For sure, and Sand King Jakiro is also a much easier support duo to execute than Earth Spirit Jakiro is a very high skill cap support duo in terms of the combos that you need to hit to control those mid game team fights.
Yeah, Rubik versus Jakiro I think is just one of those free Rubik games.
Ice Path.
Yeah, you steal Ice Path, you steal any of those really long animation. Like Jakiro's long animation on literally everything, so Rubik just has value with no animation.
Including turning around, I should add.
Yeah. That's why Jakiro should never retreat from a fight, Paul.
Oh.
Just keep going in, Paul.
Austin, do you want to know Austin's hourly rate
these last 3 years? My God.
3 years, Paul?
Wow, that was some.
Actually, nearly 4.
I heard somebody yelling there during the draft. That's pretty good. Somebody's getting hyped.
I don't think that was a player.
No?
No, I think that was Slacks.
Oh, never mind. Jake's in the building.
I don't know who. Maybe
Okay.
one of the players is playing a pub and he got really pissed off or something, but one of the players is like amping themselves up in the draft.
He's like, yeah, Beastmaster!
I am so in with this LFY draft. This is the single target initiation from the Roar. It solves so many of the issues that we had in the previous game. It makes the combo of the Earth Spirit and the Jakiro your supports easier to execute. It gives you that wave clear that Cap was concerned about. I'm much more in with this LFY draft than I was in the previous game.
Well,
feel the same?
Easy.
Cap, you feel the same?
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, compared to the last draft, sure.
I think this team is good, and I wanted them to give themselves a chance in the draft. I felt they just didn't do that in game 1.
Yeah. What was the Beastmaster win rate at MDL?
2-13.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And here it's 33%.
Yeah, no, look.
So it's not had the best of tournaments in the last 2 tournaments.
I firmly believe, again, the opinions differ widely on this. I firmly believe it's because so many teams have figured out how to play against the Beastmaster aggro dual lanes. But here, it's LFY that has the Gyrocopter Jakiro, one of the combos that LGD has used to deal with the Beastmaster aggro duels. I don't see necessarily the same stability on the side of Mineski in terms of a core support combination that's going to be able to keep the Beastmaster out of that offlane.
I thought the Beastmaster was very good because I thought Mineski was going to go for like a Lifestealer or a Luna, maybe a Juggernaut. And a Beastmaster is good against all of those heroes, right? Like Luna does not like the Necronomicon, nor does she like the
Is there a butt coming here?
No.
Oh, good.
There's
Okay,
no
good. I actually thought you were going to be like, but all right,
Beastmaster
cool.
was a solid pick, and Mineski still go for the Luna. I think they need it in this kind of lineup because they have to. I think they have to put this Furion as a support and focus more on the team fight aspect to take advantage of the fact that Earth Spirit and Beastmaster are not going to give you that, right?
Yes, look, everything that you said, absolutely dead on. I will add, I have some concerns with Mushi specifically on his Luna, okay? The game that he had yesterday, some of his eclipses were suspect, and more importantly, this is a hero that he will fall into that trap of win a fight, go farm your next item. They need to stay active on this Luna around the map, just like he did on his Gyro in the last game.
What if they got like Omni Knight though, to make it hard for the Beastmaster to focus down any of these
I am
heroes?
very, very down with Ice Omni Knight here. I think it's a great game for it.
I wish they had picked Troll, honestly, instead of
Really?
But
I think Troll, I think there's enough in the pool that has, I think if you pick Troll there, I think LFY comes back with 5th pick Lina, and I think Troll just gets Lagooned down. Is Doom still in the pool?
yeah.
Yeah, I think Doom's another option here. Underlord is out. Underlord's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Along
won't.
with the button.
You need some. You have no good initiation on the side of Mineski.
That's true. You could actually turn around and pick a support here as well. You could pick a Sand King yourself here. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Initiation. There you go,
Yeah.
Brewmaster.
That's much better than the team fight options of, what do we say, Omni Knight and like all these other here. Like they don't
Omni
give you the
Doom,
hard initiation that you really needed out of this. Here, Mineski pick a good team fighter that is going to make sure that he actually locks heroes down to make fights happen.
And he gives you that threat of early rotations. You know, Mushi is not a resolution style Luna player that's going to go rotate at level 5 just because it screws over the enemy core. They needed something that was going to have that big level 6 rotational threat.
I think Viper and Razor are a little value, but they're very early game focused.
Okay, look. So this is a super staple. Especially when they were hot last year. Super plays this sniper extremely well. His positioning is good. Until I saw the Brewmaster pick, I would have loved that sniper, but I think Brew has the ability to get in the middle of the fights, send the sniper up in the air, you kill the rest of the team in isolation.
Yeah, Dragon Knight does that too, right? He gets a Blink Dagger or Shadow Blade. Like, he can find the sniper. Sniper is a traditional counter to Luna, though.
Yes.
So that is the big part that I like about the sniper. It felt like they had a one-to-one, like we're basically going to beat out their carry.
Yep. Is it
I
enough?
think this is close, to be honest.
Yes, it is. And I am going to take LFY here. I think this is not the easiest lineup to execute, but I have seen them execute this lineup in the past. If they can play the way that they were playing 9 months ago with this draft against Mineski's, I think they have a real shot to win.
Okay.
I will go Mineski.
All right. Very definitively, both have gone for each of the two teams as we head into game number 2. Let's bring in our commentary team, boys. It's Sniper versus Luna. We usually know how that finishes.
How does that finish for you, Kevin?
It honestly depends. Like, does the sniper get ahead? Do their opponents get good gap close items? Like, can your allies like be the buffer between you? Like, is your Earth Spear rolling in and ulting like 5 people as sniper walks in? Like,
is they just proper TPing in behind you and causing you all worlds of hurt kind of thing?
Yeah.
For me, I'm loving the Mineski lineup. I love having that Brewmaster as the last one that can just jump in behind the lines, cause absolute chaos, and then you've got the minion army plus the strength that comes from a Luna push, just to force so many issues. So on that front, I'm kind of on board with the way Mineski's lineup goes, but I also see a lot of strength in LFY's lineup. I see a lot of weakness unless they can execute it right.
I do like watching Sniper a lot, though. There's a lot of different builds that you can go with him. I assume it's going to be something like a Maelstrom since the item was buffed so much, but I'm curious to see how the laning stage goes. Mid against Dragon Knight should be fine relatively as Sniper, but he's just going to have a little bit of last-hitting trouble while Dragon Knight has the first couple levels.
Yeah, but then he'll hopefully get over that and not get hit by too many of the breathe fires. Looks like Ice, Ninja Boogie already preparing in the mid lane to try and go for some early aggression. They're not near the runes instead. That's actually LFY, who have moved aggressively to the north. It's very nice to watch a game of Arfu Earth Spirit.
Yeah, it's been a while. The hero's definitely fallen off a bit. Doesn't contest lanes quite as good as other heroes. A lot better as a roamer.
Well, they're trying to force in towards the town. You've got a couple of creeps hitting in to the Beastmaster, rolling boulder forward, actually connects. Mushi, he doesn't really have anything to help. He went for the Lunar Blessing, he went for the extra damage, and Jabs burning so quickly. And Mushi also slowed up, not what he wants to have. It's that Orb of Venom, but then with Nature's Prophet trees, they're holding the Beastmaster in, trying to buy time for Mushi to beat into him, but the Tango regeneration and the 3 mangoes, there's more regeneration than Mushi can remove life from.
I like how they did that. He prepped with axes. By the time the real fight was happening, a second axes got to come out, and just in time, DDC is able to get the dual breath for the catch. So there's actually an aggro tri-lane, surprisingly. We'll see if it sticks around like this, but I mean, it is a pretty good tri-lane. Lots of damage lots of damage output between the 3 heroes. And back at the safe lane, it's a Gyrocopter versus a Brewmaster, which should be fine for Gyro for now.
It does start to beg the question too, like if they can keep Mushi shut down, can the DK bring it back? Can anyone really bring it back? Courier snipe in mid, one more attack from Boogie will do it. And that had 3 tangos on it. That was heading towards Super by the looks of it. He already got his salve.
Must have been someone else's.
Yeah, it's Gyrocopters. Gyrocopters, tangos.
Poor guy. It's going to be annoying, especially he's got a lane rotate now. Looks like Earth Spirit will come back down here, so it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Gets a little bit less regen, but at least the support wasn't there.
Rolling boulder goes into Ice Ice Ice. Already used the homing missile as well as flat cannon. Flat cannon comes off cooldown. So Ice 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 willing to stand. In fact, that one melee creep locked in Afu for half a second. So Ninja Boogie, I can't reach it. It's a level 1 telekinesis. He can't grab and pull him back further.
It's ganked by the neutral. And, oh, just kidding. He was pulling, guys.
Yeah.
Success.
Yeah. All intentional, man. Don't you ever underestimate the Grand Magus.
DDC getting pretty messed up, but this is really scary for Beastmaster. Luckily, that creep was 1 hit from dying, and no blocking for you, little guy.
You're talking like the panel were mentioning, like the lack of rotation style heroes like you have like with the ES, because he's so good at that type of role. But every time Jabs plays his Nature's Prophet, he's always pressuring lanes. Like that's the dream of it. We saw Kuro doing it early today as well.
It's so good in lane, too. Just spawn the trees, run them at your opponent, and pretty much problem solved. Whereas Beastmaster, typically, he's just always such an up-in-your-face hero. Even heroes like Nature's Prophet can deal with it.
Ninja Boogie gonna get a pickup onto Monet. The clap is there. Afu trying to body block it, and they're forced a TP rotation. So Jakira's already on the way in. It's gonna be a little bit difficult for... Well, the dual breath does connect, but it's gonna be difficult for Ice 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 to escape if they stayed on him, but they had to back off.
So really, one of the biggest problems that Gyro has is just guaranteeing last hits in the laning stage, but he's getting super stabilized here by the supports, and it just seems like they're kind of doing a sort of roaming playstyle between these 2 guys here.
You know how you said mid lane was going to go the way of Moon at the very start? 19-7 versus the 6-0 of Super. He's now trying to use Shrapnel to farm up as Jabs goes after Beastmaster in flame between the Tier 1, Tier 2 tower. Jabs just TPs out. Damn, that took a while, and he went back into the lane. He didn't even disappear. Bottom lane, homing missile connects, and Ice Ice Ice. Don't get a kill on the top, but we get a kill on the bottom.
Well, they snake that kill at least. The sniper missing last hits is definitely the biggest lacking here for LFY, but Dragon Knight just has way more base damage. He's got about 20 more base damage right now, opting for a fast belt of strength instead of a soul ring. He just wants as much raw damage as possible. That way he can keep getting these denies. But with the Aquila finally finished for Sniper, he's going to be more competitive now. He's going to have way more range in his opponent, and maybe he'll be able to harass him down.
Until Ninja Boogie rotates over range telekinesis. He's only got level 1, so there's no Fade Ball to help him out here, but it won't matter. They hit level 2 by killing off the creep wave that was there, and Sniper will fall with that rotation of Mineski.
So this is kind of what Paul was talking about. Well, you know what happens. Sniper gets ganked or doesn't lane super well, or one disable sets him up for a death. That is the problem with Sniper as a whole. He's kind of like Zeus in that way. He just can't defend himself mid. Yep. Yes, he deals a lot of damage, but if somebody goes on top of him, he can't stop them from killing him most of the time.
And it seems to hurt you then in the other lanes. He did such a great job of keeping Mushi down, but now Mushi, he had a creep wave and a half, if not 2 full creep waves just coming towards his tower. He's now 23-11 on the CS. DK is 24-12. So Mushi's getting so much experience because Jabs also went into the jungle. I guess Mineski just creates space on the map, but now it's up to LFY's supports to rotate and make something work. Make sure that they actually have something to fight the Luna when she's ready.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in. If Sniper can stabilize, grab a big item, rotate for some ganks, things like that, it could be really good though, because one of the benefits of his hero is that, again, his range is so long that if he rotates into a lane, he can contribute to these ganks and kills, especially if Beastmaster gets a timely 6, or if he follows up on something like Earth Spirit initiating your gank.
Yes, looking for this initiation. Top lane, Inflame, Lucent Beam, the creeps. The Treants cannot get in front. Jabs. This causes a lot of problems. He's going in with his Treants because it's the 5-minute bounty rune. So you can have Inflame burn the shrine, but Jabs can take the money.
Really good trade there. And perfect time to pressure their opponents. In fact, wow, Mineski getting 3 out of 4, 4 out of 4 here.
Yeah, all
Big
the money.
advantage. That's 220 gold to every single person on Mineski right there.
The amount of stuff they can buy. They have another Soul Ring on the way out. Mid lane, Shrapnel's coming down. Moon really under siege. Prophet TPing in, wants to try and help out. Moon still hit with the liquid fire underneath the tower. They sprout him, try and remove the vision, and with it, Moon, he's into the trees. 77 HP, regenerating quickly. In through the side, Arfu wants to go for the kick. He has the Observer Ward, so he knows what he can do. The TP out in the mid lane will work, but here goes Arfu, rolling boulder in. The damage, Moon gets the stun, and he actually takes the kill underneath almost his own tier 2 towers. Tip Arfu indeed. Thank you for the gold in-game as well as towards the battle passes.
Man, painful loss there, losing the Dragon Knight, but also failing the follow-up chase here. On the bright side, Brewmaster taking a lot of damage bottom. He's going to have a clap, but that's about it here.
Yeah, he can clap and Drunken Brawler, and actually with the clap, the slow is enough to keep Monet away from him. But yeah, huge for Moon to get the solo kill. The extra soul rings that came out, that was for the Brewmaster, but I just love Jabs with the way he builds. Like, okay, don't need boots, that's not important. Medallion of Courage was the primary thing. It had the Blightstone early on, so you have just this negative effect onto the Brewmaster. And the Sprout, it's a full block. There's no easy way just to cut straight through it. Great movement, great
Except
builds.
for his Axe's skill, but he wasn't quite ready for that one. If you just put it straight on the hero, never mind. Gyro might go down.
Yeah, trying to create a little bit of space.
Okay.
Jabs as well as ice away from him.
They just don't have enough damage. If the call down doesn't land there, they might feel more confident to wrap around, but...
Boogie has to keep running. Throws Alfu away. Sniper, the assassination, Dragon Tail stun has to be used to cancel. Ninja Boogie's got the distance, but now Moon, 3 heroes behind him. Arfu, no rolling boulder yet. Here comes your TP in from Mushi. He wants to help out, so the Luna hiding inside the fog of war for the moment. The dual breath connects on 3. Super is low, and yep, there's the Eclipse. Destroys not 1, but 2 of LFY. Yao was close by, and Super was the range kill.
Super's got to feel real bad about that. When he runs out of shrapnel charges, they can't guarantee the Dragon Knight kill, and just everything going bad in these early skirmishes. A 3k gold advantage for Mineski at 7 minutes. That is a commanding lead, and they're going to be able to hit the mid tower now with this gank rotation that Mushi pulled off here.
Yeah, not just like the commanding lead that comes out, just the 2 heroes it's on, the Luna as well as the DK. Heroes which take a lot of strength to bring down, and without the Sniper having a lot of the DPS, like he's still hoping for phase boost to increase that deeps, but there's just nothing there. So what, you look towards the Gyrocopter? Gyrocopter wants phase boosts and drums as well. Like, it doesn't really feel like there's a lot of power yet from LFY, so you rotate, but you're not going to find the kills. Is that maybe when I think more of Inflame? Like, where's that roll? Where's that gank? Where's that control where Mineski just can't answer back?
He's got to hit 6 first is the tough part. Like, there's not that much they could have done to help make sure that Dragon Knight doesn't get out of hand, other than maybe Sniper last hitting better. But that's very difficult to do when your base damage is lower, when Dragon Knight's nearly impossible to harass. It's just a bit of an uphill battle because his base damage is so weak, other than him just outplaying Moon. But Moon has consistently been winning these matchups here.
Yep. The fact that you just didn't have the damage, like damage reduction, now the combo with Mushi.
Also, the courier snipe was another big thing too.
Yeah.
I'm sure that made a little bit of an impact, gives Moon a bigger advantage to spend on money that he can use to kill or to outlast his opponent using a fast belt of strength. All of those things are certainly impacting things. And then the supports spend so much time rotating to the bot lane to secure their carry. Yep. They didn't have the time to go mid, and even if they did, their likelihood of getting a kill was not high between like Earth Spirit, Jakiro, and Sniper. They would need like level 2 shrapnel and a lot of disable.
And even that TP from LFY, like bringing the Jakiro down to bottom, it was a reaction to Mineski's aggression. And then Mineski can just show more aggression, but they can move it so quickly. That's the beauty of a Nature's Prophet. Yeah, it's a 50-second cooldown on teleportation, but you're inside of a lane, you bring in a Medallion of Courage, you attack so heavily, you chip them down, then 50 seconds later, you go to another place, or you grab a TP scroll, you go home, you regenerate and come back out, do the same thing again. Just seems really difficult for LFY to capture a win. And another thing to keep in the mind here, you've got Mineski who can force down buildings. You've got not just the creep army, the DK Dragon form, the power that comes in from the Luna. As this happens, there's less ways to contest Roshan, where you already have the Medallion to do this too. So then you got Nega's push going to come a lot earlier against LFY. I fear there is just this horrible timing that LFY is going to have to deal with from Mineski, where they just have everything they want to push.
With that said, I think almost all the heroes on LFY's team are also relatively strong early on. Gyrocopter drops call down, you've got Beastmaster Roar, Sniper is pretty good with just like shrapnel spams, if he's got enough charges, that is. And Earth Spirit Jakiro, kind of the same thing, especially if Earth Spirit 6. If they can go into a team fight with those things, yes, Mineski has a lot of tools, but outside of like Eclipse, they don't have a huge amount of overwhelming damage. So there's definitely some things they can do to take some equal force to their opponents and possibly take a team fight win that they can turn into objectives. So like right now, for example, Eclipse is on cooldown for a very long time.
Yep.
Means Mushi's output in terms of a team fight is not that great.
Yeah. It's like the harassment to the tier 1 tower. Yes, it's a good point. Like, you got these long cooldown abilities. Anyway, you always just think of it, like when I think of the Luna, I'm thinking that you got that nice damage aura, but you keep it at level 1.
Yep.
And
so she's okay right now, and throwing out Lucent Beams is nice damage-wise as kind of like a chain reaction thing, or a chain thing between her allies, but for now it's not the best. And Ninja Boogie's, I'd like to point out, level 2 at 7 minutes and 14. He's almost level 3, but still, he's level 2 at 7 minutes. So even though their cores seem to be doing really well, that everybody has tons of gold, they're going to have some level disadvantages here for the supports. Rubik is not going to output much. And again, Nature's Prophet can't do that much outside of be all over the place, harass opponents, push lanes. He doesn't contribute as much in terms of ganks and team fights.
yeah, I can definitely see that. But at the same time, like, yeah, the sacrifice which is coming from Ninja Boogie is taken back from Jabs. Like, he's 4.5 levels on this Nature's Prophet. He's going to look to be very aggressive. He's already got the Urn of Shadows being queued up. Like, this guy doesn't want to go any type of boots. It's all about disabling the cores, making Sniper's life a living hell, and this just creates more space for the cores. So, yeah, I see a lot of strength coming in from Mineski. Yeah, I'm concerned for LFY, but they have some windows of opportunity. It's just if they can do anything in it. And I never really want to underestimate Nafu Earth Spirit. Like, he is a god on that hero.
Yeah, definitely is. More often than not, but still only level 3 for him. They just need to set up these kills in good ways, make sure that Sniper can get some catch-up gold, and then hopefully have a Quelling Blade or a Tango to get out of Sprouts once he does end up getting ganked. But gap close is obviously the other really important thing. Brewmaster has been going for Soul Ring. He's just hit level 6, so he's ready to fight and dive opponents, but if he gets a Blink Dagger, it's even scarier for Sniper. But as long as he can sit at the back and LFY can initiate first, everything is going to look a lot better.
All right. It actually looks like I got my ear that we can throw to a break, but I also just see Afu rejoining into the game. Once they get the TeamSpeak up and running, they're going to keep going. So if production's okay with it, we can keep chin wagging.
Said,
for a little bit longer. I got an okay from production. We can keep talking about things.
Thank God.
Yeah, these are the rare moments, Kevin, where you can stop a game and just start to break down every single thing that happens and got 7 minutes and 14 seconds worth of information.
I just wish that there weren't dead heroes right now, because therefore things would be a little bit more up in the air. It's kind of straightforward right now. Mineski's going to walk mid and hit buildings. We're just waiting on a TeamSpeak resolution or something like that, and then they should be ready to start. But everybody is in the game at least.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, we've had low delays. It's been a good tournament so far.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
Some good games.
So, like, there's some other things which I kind of want to keep my eyes on. Ice is one of those other things. Got a lot of pressure on bottom lane. I don't see how LFY can really continue the pressure now. We actually have our go, so we're restarting the game now.
Continuing.
Because he's continuing. Yeah, not restarting. Yeah, we don't have that option anymore. This is Reborn World. Oh, they're gonna smoke on top of the Dire Ops. They have the smoke on Earth Spirit. Not going to happen, and the Treant was nearby too.
I mean, it's not time to fight yet. That would be kind of desperation mode. Like, smoking 2 heroes is fine, but if they smoke like 3 or 4, that's you don't move that many heroes across the map at this point in the game unless you're moving to defend like a tier 1 tower.
It's exactly what you're talking about, right? Like, you smoke up a couple of heroes to work with one of the good abilities while the other's down from Mineski. Raw off-cooled, like, now available because he hit level 6. Afu and Monet, they're just running towards the north. Ninja Boogie and Mushi are up here. Ninja Boogie kind of actually wants to be the one that dies on the top lane and not Mushi, but Mushi rolling boulder. Here she comes, up on the top lane. Roar as well, call down, will connect, and Mushi has no time to reply, and Ninja Boogie can't do much more. He actually pulled the creep wave, make it easier. Down towards the bottom lane, Ice. Doesn't have them, actually he can just, okay, he uses the Soul Ring for the clap to slow down DDC and combine with jabs. That medallion makes it so difficult, even for one of the highest strength getting support heroes like Jakiro to survive.
And the reason he's down here is because he wants to delay the speed at which they can take the tower. If he's alive, he can dual breath and liquid fire, but at this point it looks pretty dire here for this tower. Mineski's gonna be able to clear it out with all their trees and creeps, but LFY gets a lot of good stuff out of it. They killed the enemy carry because they knew Eclipse was on cooldown. It was the easiest spell follow-up ever, and finally they're gonna be able to control the enemy jungle a little bit and get some farm off the map.
Yeah. They also got some space for Super. He backed off and just started farming inside the neutrals. He's catching up in the CS. I'm not saying he's looking great, like he's still only 100 gold in front of the Brewmaster. Actually, that's exactly where Brewmaster's headed. In towards the mid, starts the primal split, wants to try and slow down Super so Moon can close the distance. So they start with the stun, but okay, not under the tower. Moon's got a creep wave to go with him, so this movement does bring all of LFY into the mid lane. The Earth Ruling backs up. And that's all she's going to write. Like, it's just more, hi LFY, please come towards mid lane, and now we'll all leave.
Just a little bit hopeful there from Ice. He was kind of hoping the sniper would stick around his tower once he popped the ultimate, but he happened to be running back at the same time, and at that point, Dragon Knight chasing was just not realistic. It was a good gank attempt, kind of, but it was a little bit gambly and ended up not paying off. So another good moment for LFY, though. This one, not so much in their control.
Yeah. But Brewmaster split down these long cooldown abilities. The Dragon form's off cooldown. Tier 1 tower is still standing. Top lane, Monet, well, blinded by the moonlight. Jabs underneath the Observe Ward. I don't know if Beastmaster really believes he can do anything here. In fact, Inflame is going to walk past the Observe Ward, so they start with the Wrath of Nature. Ninja Boogie has the Telekinesis grab, more Lucent Beams available, and you got the Sprout control, so Beastmaster will roar, cuts his way up pretty quickly with a Quelling Braid, and thanks to the phase boost, damn he moves so quickly. Yeah. Back behind the Tier 1 tower, I thought for a moment he had a haste.
I'm a little surprised he stayed alive there. Really good damage coming out of Mineski. On the opposite side of the map, they pick off the hero once again.
Everyone's looking for picks. Ice doesn't have split running down the river. TP support's coming in. It's the DK, but the Dragon donks. Where's that stun? They get the pick up. Super just wanted the initiation. I mean, the ending with the assassination.
Does get picked off, though.
He does. But not done. Rolling boulder. Kick will connect. Ninja Boogie doesn't have much to give. Gets his life back up, gets his mana up, at least with a stick. Jabs needs to Sprout, blocks him out, but the Beastmaster actors and the kick from Marfu cut through. And Moon will fall. That's a big streak to be taken as well by Inflame.
That was really nicely done. I don't know if he was silencing at that moment on purpose or not to break the Sprout, but it seemed like both him and his ally were ready for that. All they needed was vision on the Dragon Knight, the Rocket Barrage can clean it up, and the Gyro's just really giving some worth this game, just because it does give them so much magic damage that they can actually deal with the Dragon Knight in these rotations. The Sniper dies again, but he buys an item before he falls. It looks like he's going to go for a Mask of Madness first. I actually really approve of this item build. I think it's the best way to accelerate his farm in jungling, and then late game you can disassemble and make something like a butterfly potentially as well.
Yeah.
He just needs the ability to be way faster than his opponents and make sure that he doesn't have to run into these fights. He can just sit back and attack super fast and output some damage.
Mineski just got a reminder about warding as the Observe Ward that's sitting behind. It was a full duration ward that was between the Tier 1, Tier 2 tower, died in front of them when they noticed it. So Ninja Boogie, as well as Ice, smoked up Ninja Boogie. He used the Tome to grab level 6, so now we add Rubik's Seal to the mix.
That was a big improvement. A mere 5 minutes and he gains 4 levels.
Yep.
But it helps when you gank. Just got to be around other high-level heroes that end up getting killed. Oh, they know exactly where Sniper's going to be right now. Oh, you left the mid lane? Well, you're either in that medium and large camp to the south, or you're by your shrine.
It's the two obs. They've got one on either side of the mid lane, so that's why they saw the Sniper move around, bring the Brewmaster in close. Rubik, he'll end up stealing Shrapnel, throws down an extra charge. The silence, Arfu goes in, and here comes the rest of LFY. They came from the north, they came from behind. Ninja Boogie can get a pick up and a throwdown, at least gets a double stun, allowing Ice, and Mushi to now combo together. The Eclipse hits so hard into Monet. Beastmaster, he just wants to buy back. He wants to be part of this. Yao also wants to be part of it, but right now all he sees is Bark. It will require Inflame with the axes to come in from behind and bring down Mushi. But you're fighting on LFY's side of the river, but it won't matter when they got this confidence. The Roar pushes Ice back up again. But thanks to this early the Jabs has got. I'm not certain Inflame has the life to survive. 17 HP, and he ticks under the Tier 3 tower.
So close there, but barely gets killed. Can they defend the tower? Maybe deny here?
Yeah, they got a kick over on Moon. No denial. The stun actually is just Arfu dying. Super was looking at it. The Shrapnels are down and Moon just TP's out. He doesn't want to try and jump over it, so Ninja Boogie comes in close. They can switch their targets up. Yep, assassination go for Ninja Boogie. But he's got so much life anyway. And he's got the support of the Brewmaster behind him. He is well Well safe.
Super is trying so hard to contribute anything he can to this game, but it's just such an uphill battle. I can't even believe that LFY got as many kills as they did. It just seemed like a slaughter at the start, but slowly but surely they cleaned up some of the important heroes and they stabilized a bit.
And someone gets Super some money. He's trying, but he's farming underneath the Observer Ward that Mineski put down previously, so they know what Super's trying to do. At least he hit that 10 talent, so plus 20 damage.
That will certainly help. If he had a Mask of Madness, he'd probably feel a little more comfortable, but he's just getting dived and dying. This hero just doesn't have a lot of survivability. His strength gain is real mediocre, and again, he can't defend himself much. Tough sniper game.
It's some real nice stacks. Like Mushi, he has the 4 points up in the Moonglaive, so getting through these stacks is a lot easier for him. He just needs someone like Moon to tank it.
Easy stuff. Sniper wishes he had this much farm. Sniper would actually be really scary with the Mask of Madness and the Dragon Lance right now, but he just hasn't worked for it as well.
Actually, kind of the life steal. Like, you got a full Spirit Vessel on jabs.
That's real farm.
Yeah.
5, 2, and 4 from support Nature's Prophet. I cannot imagine being this good in Nature's Prophet.
I'm actually wondering how you keep your life up. Now LFY will try and remove the life. They see Ninja Boogie for half a second. As well as Mushi, Rolling Boulder, Moon in the trees, actually comps the Rolling Bolt. The Ice Path won't connect. Dual Breath will, but Afu, he just doesn't have the life to survive. No more stuns available, so the TP from Jakiro will be successful.
Found a very hard tree on the way to the place he wanted to land his hit.
The shielded tree jabs. Look how quick he moves. Right towards the mid lane. Like, hey, I got Mask of Madness. Crap. I got Mask of Madness. Wrath of Nature will bounce through. This will kill Super. Or will it? He's so low on life. Ice will finish the job. All of his Brewlings around, but he's down to 1. Needs the extra distance. The Ice Path will not clip, so they can keep running. Where's the support? It is way too far away. Ice will burn in the macro pyre. The rest of Mineski were just pushing the top lane and taking the tier 1 tower.
Mineski really doesn't care that much, though. They again killed Sniper. 5th death now. He just gets jumped on. No way to heal. No way to get out of here. Like, he needs a Force Staff or something, but it's not even going to give him good damage. Mineski's directing all their attacks to the right place.
Blink Dagger is on Moon. Like, this spells death for Afu, but you've already seen how difficult it's been for Sniper to stay alive. Now you've got a strength, like, such a powerful hero like DK, who has a Blink Dagger to reach the backlines. Prophet to TP of the backlines.
Yep.
Brewmaster also has a Blink Dagger, so Blink Dagger, clap, and split to the backlines.
This is like the point is past where Sniper can kind of do Sniper things and get ahead. He's not going to get ahead this game. He's just trying to catch up. And now that they have even more mobility items, every fight is going to be like this. Right on top of Sniper, and then LFY is going to have to spend abilities and cooldowns just to try to keep him alive a little bit longer.
Yeah. Which is never what you want to be doing. You want to be looking to find those kills. Like heroes like Brewmaster, you need that damage output to kill him before he splits. You need a lot to get through DK, because he's just a tanky kind of hero. And the Luna, Mask of Madness, Dragonlance, going into Mana style. Like there's dodge abilities once that full Manta is up. You've got the range, you've got so much to work with for Mushi.
Yeah. On the bright side, Luna still isn't going to be able to deal with Sniper very well until she's able to close enough for like an Eclipse follow-up or something. Maybe if she swings around the fight in a good way. So hypothetically, if the rest of the team is dealt with or disabled, as LFY takes a fight, Sniper can drop shrapnels and sit at the back pinging away.
They're pinging out. The Observer Ward saw Moon go by himself to the top lane, so they smoke up. They have the Beastmaster Raw. No dire Observer Wards nearby, but Moon TP's out. So already gone, comes to rejoin the rest of Mineski, who do their own smoke. 4 men under it, moving from their tier 1 tower in the mid lane, and they're headed south, and I wonder who they're going to try and kill and keep down.
I'm not sure.
There's a target. He starts with S.
I have no idea. I have no guesses. Who is it?
Oh, okay.
All right,
It's Gyrocopter! The other guy with guns.
I mean, basically anywhere the Sniper, look at these wards. Anywhere the Sniper's going to want to farm, that's where the wards are. Because they know every single time they kill these guys or initiate on them, can't defend themselves, can't turn things around, will die, and then instantly Prophet TP's in, drops the trees, and a tower is going to die. And these guys will have like plus 50 damage from the Luna. tower dies. Now they're pushing on. They're thinking about going high ground.
Nahaz is having his wish, right? Like you take an objective and you push the base. Mushi doesn't go farm his next item, he farms his next objective. Macro Pyre will definitely slow this down. There's no doubt about that, but then Mineski, they actually use their fortification, so the creep wave has chased the sniper all the way to the tier 4 towers, allowing Moon and Mushi just to beat the crap out of this tier 3. We're 18 minutes in, they've taken it. Afu gets the kick, he'll only grab one. Ice, so Roll pushes him out, he'll still get the split off, but the Magnetize, it clips the back line of Mineski. The Brewmaster has just created enough chaos that Afu, he goes for another kick, he connects onto the Drag Knight, he's so low with the cooldown, he'll do his work for Mushi. The Eclipse, it got split between DDC and Monet, they couldn't do enough. So it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Afu did die. Ice, back into Brewmaster form. A quick stolen Ice Path from Ninja Boogie, buying the space for Jazz to attack from up the hill, but now he's Ice Pathed up. He couldn't finish off Monet. Mineski have overstayed their welcome. They did, however, take a tier 3 tower 19 minutes into the game, but at what cost?
It's a big gold swing for Beastmaster, especially picking up 600, but losing the tier 3 tower at this point in the game, especially against the Nature's Prophet, these shrines are dead. Like, kiss them goodbye. Pop the shrine. I don't care how little mana or HP you need. It's time to get some advantage out of that. And Sniper's very close to his Maelstrom, but that is not going to be the big game changer that they need. They've kind of hold it, but only a little bit. And I'm looking at all these aggressive wards, actually, on LFY's side. I don't even think they matter. They haven't been able to cross the base.
And they just lost one of them, too. The only one they have left is the one that's got 1 minute left on it, on that top lane.
Oh, have you seen this before? Meteor Hammer Beastmaster?
Wait, what?
Yeah. It makes sense, right? You've got a stun. Give it a follow-up, right?
Sure.
If he finds people solo, it's good. Obviously, in a lot of cases, people would be like, yeah, I'd rather have a Necro 3 so I can just kill the guy. But tower pushing...
Mineski is running at you too. DDC, Observer and Sentry being planted down. They want to control this high ground, but no, Brewmaster has an Invis rune. But look at the movement. Mushi isn't even being part of this.
Yeah.
He's running towards the mid lane. He's adding side lane pressure. Chabs, he's already headed towards the top lane, taunting his way there. You're going to have a tier 2 trade. Like, where both those tier 2s go to Mineski, and the tier 1 only goes to LFY. Unless they can defend him. Jump in, Ice, goes for the clap, 2 seconds till split, silenced up, Afu did the work. Ice will fall.
Sniper did something.
Yay!
Got a kill. Good rotation. Mineski basically realized that they couldn't take that fight. They didn't have Eclipse, they didn't have their cooldowns necessarily. They were just going to dodge. LFY was able to take the tier 1. They tried to get something out of it, but in that moment where it looked a little dangerous for LFY, oh my god, is Super gonna die to these illusions? Ooh, it was very close. Just two illusions, that's all.
Shrines has the life back, and we'll run towards the mid lane. The tier 1 tower of Mineski is still standing. The only tier 1 tower on the map.
It's a good one to have right in the middle.
Yeah, it is.
Good map control, good Roche control, multiple teleport points.
Yeah. They even have that observer ward watching LFY, so if LFY have any intention of sneaking Roshan or going anywhere around their ancients on the northern side, Mineski have the information right away.
It's definitely time for Mineski to fight, though. All their ultimates are off cooldown, including Nature's Prophet one. They've got a smoke ready on the Brewmaster.
Their auras are looking real nice. So you got a full pipe onto Jabs. He's still bootless Prophet. Okay. And you also have, what was the other thing? The Vlads on the Brewmaster.
It's going to be really good, especially against a hero like Gyrocopter. Give everybody more armor, some magic resistance, and Pipe really holds off the damage that LFY can do right now.
How's that Sinji too? Like when you have higher levels up on Ninja Boogie, right now it's just level 1 null field, but...
Yeah. It can help, but most people use null field aggressively anyways, so it's not the most important thing for now. They've also got a lot of magic damage on their side between like Brewmaster and Luna and Dragonite. Might as well just amplify what you got for now.
Mushi's just farming underneath this obs. I thought Mineski would have read the fact that the obs and sentry were planted down when LFY were looking for a fight, but they haven't committed any sentry wards at all to this area.
It's fine. They just haven't been there, to be honest. Maybe the supports could have at some stage, but Ninja's been pushing in mid. Prophet's certainly been busy, especially still pushing out opposite lanes where enemy heroes aren't at.
And they just got all the information they wanted. The observer what they had, have still in the mid lane, is watched all the movements of LFY. So it's this little sucker that Afu is just walking over the top of. And they knew LFY was moving into their jungle. They're standing nearby, but it's not going to stop Mineski from taking Roshan.
Yeah, just super safe for them to do this, although LFY's coming.
Where's that BKB gyrocopter? Just walks into the middle of it. Afu, he is Aegis
Not again.
King. He
No
jumps
way.
in the kick. He snatches a Mushi. Gets the Aegis Immortal, even though Afu got the kill on the Roshan. But it won't matter when Mushi, it was a double damage rune. The Wrath of Nature clips the wings of the gyrocopter. And while the roar was out from the Beastmaster, the control continues. They close the distance. Jabs jumped in further forward, holding Sniper in position. So Jabs, he'll lose his life for this, but Mushi just keeps going ham. They'll take Super, they'll take Yao, and they'll take 4 of LFY. They take the Aegis, and now they take the tier 2. Take, and give nothing back, Mineski.
It looked so good for them. They're running at the perfect moment, but they weren't able to get the stuns off. They didn't get the Aegis, and at that point, everything was so hard to defend.
All these buybacks. Sniper, Jakiro bought back. You still have it on the Beastmaster and the ES, but Mushi wants to make more of himself. Remember, he's got the Aegis to the Immortal. The kick, it's nice. But Ice just beating the crap out of DDC with a stick. And now the Eclipse, they find the kill. Goodbye ES, the Glaze bounce through. It's difficult for the Beastmaster. He doesn't have that life, but maybe with the call down, Brewmaster cops a lot of damage, goes for one quick clap. And Mineski just want to retreat out of this one. Sprout, TP, Jabs. Wait, he's going to turn around and actually kill the Beastmaster. Worth it. Oh, actually, no, it's worth it. 591 gold for that. You'll take it.
I don't know, Toby. He dropped the hammer on him. That definitely means more than dying first. Come on. But again, Sniper gets to sit back in the team fight and actually accomplish something. I mean, he did have to buy back for that, but not all bad. They went about even in that engagement. Yeah. A lot of gold to Gyro, too.
It was actually a dieback from Jabs, too.
Okay.
So, like, he did buy back during that.
Some brief relief against the constant lane pressure that Nature's Prophet provides. But Aegis is gone. The game is semi-reset. With that said, Luna's picked up his BKB finally.
Yeah.
10 whole seconds on this, and level 19. And pretty much from here on out, Luna becomes a bit of a monster. So,
other small upsides, there's only the range racks on bottom. Like, the melee is still alive and regenerating.
That's actually not too bad. The wave will be constantly pushed. Prophet's likely going to threaten that a little bit.
Rune's waiting for the runes. He's trying not to attack him. He takes the bounty.
Good snake.
He actually had to stop himself from attacking twice.
Yeah.
He swung the sword.
So that's a 500 gold event. It's like a 1,000k swing that just happened. That they stole that bounty that his opponents were standing on top of.
Well, it goes to filling the pockets of Mineski. That's a blink dagger for the Rubiks, and Ninja Boogie will have that range jump.
Gonna probably be looking for Call Down is fantastic, Beastmaster Roar, anything Jakiro related, even like Sniper Shrapnel.
Mushi, he's real close. Blink forward, Mushi very quick on the BKB and the Loser Beam follow. Dragon Tail stun. Inflame thought he had something, but really he had nothing. They moved their attention over towards Afu on the trees. Nowhere to really rolly boulder around. Ninja Boogie can put the Sprout down just to ensure nothing else is here. And they're coming once more. The two guys who have buyback, the only two from LFY who have buyback are the ones who died. So with the buyback of Beastmaster, it looks like Mineski this time will be happy with what they achieved.
That one's going to cost him a lot, especially in the next engagement or team fight. But it's not all bad because LFY traded buybacks for big team fight ultimates, and that's the big scary thing that Mineski has. So they pop the smoke. They want to go in. This is their time to grab hero kills. Yep. If they can get somebody like Luna who doesn't have BKB, that'd be huge.
Oh, Moon's nearby, and no, they don't find him. Luna's still on the run. So is Ice. No Brewmaster split.
They had the ward, though. They saw where he's going. They know he's going to go to a large camp. So here comes the Blink Dagger.
But support's nearby. Brewmaster, and there's Manta. Mushi, Roar is out. Macropyre and Cooldown and High Path. Goodbye, Mushi.
Very close. If Luna was able to get the high ground before the Roar goes off, animation's canceled, and Luna is out of there. Wasted smoke, but they're able to get the kill. Finally.
He spent his money really quickly, though. So even though he died, he completed the Hurricane Pike.
Okay. Well.
So money saved. Meanwhile, Jakiro, DDC being picked up. Jabs, it's the end of the double damage room, but it gave him enough. And the Ice Pass, stolen by Ninja Boogie, will need to be used to create space. Jabs, actually, with the hit, he bounces it through the Wrath of Nature. It's the Blade Mail on Jabs, making it so difficult just to instantly pick him off. But now, Moon, he's under the cover of that Shadow Blade. He's going to close the distance on Super. The Shrapnel is down, but here comes Brewmaster Clap, pushing him away. There's that Hurricane Pike of Super, giving the space, but you do not get that hit on the Meteor Hammer because Mineski, well, they didn't actually chase. They lost the vision around the hillside.
Decent defense there, Sniper. Oh, just a neutral. Okay. Not very exciting.
No.
So back and forth engagement still. I can't believe how much Jabs is doing. as a support with no boots. Like, his items have actually been so insane. Blade Mail, perfect usage there. I thought he was just going to die through it. I thought Gyro was just going to be like, oh, this is okay. But it was incredible. Gyro was taking so much more damage than Jebs was.
Yep. He's got 1,500 gold to survive with this Nature's Prophet as well. Like, what's he sitting at? 9 plus 25 armor.
That's
plus,
really tanky.
Plus having 1,500 HP, and now he's even going to get evasion. He's got a Talisman of Evasion queued up. So, Solid Crest, hello.
Yep. With that said, Gyro's got his Ags just about finished, so his damage output is going to be huge. He's going to be able to clear Treants and things like that. I actually really like Maelstrom on him.
Is this what he wants against a Blade Mail, though?
Yes, you can reflect damage on yourself, but the cool thing about this build is that you just become really tanky and have a moderate amount of damage. And that kind of equation is usually really good against Blade Mail, because you're not throwing so much out that it kills you. You have large HP, so the reflection is not a big deal. I think this is going to be okay for him.
Okay.
Level 3 Assassinate picked up, level 20 Talent Tree on Sniper.
Does
now he's got
anyone
the fast
ever go
too.
the knockback? Like, does anyone ever go the knockback?
Yeah, sometimes it's worth it. If your opponents are gap closing you a lot and you need them to get away from you, think like Troll Warlord kind of type heroes, it can be useful. But this game, he needs to be able to get damage out, and there's so many stuns on the enemy team. He wants to know that he can throw out an ultimate every 10 seconds and guarantee that damage output.
No smoke currently on LFY, so even if they want to be aggressive with their group up, like they had 4 players together ready to go. Unlike Mineski, who have 4 players ready to go and smoke off cooldown in half a second, boom, there she is.
Oh,
Mineski on the hunt.
Jabs can always be there.
That he can.
And for now, he's going to try to push out the creep wave. Beastmaster also in position, hoping to get a solo kill potential.
Hey, he's got that blink dagger now as possible.
Yeah.
But then Jabs can just make a couple of trees and hold the line. They're going to go in through bottom.
This is a little weird. They don't have a creep wave pushed up here.
No, it has to be a kill first. But the creep wave, it's not even in the mid. Like, every single creep wave is across the river. Who needs creep waves when you can find the kills? Super evaporates. Inflame will join him. And Monet, the BKB, he wants to run out of this one, but there's so much damage. He's actually dying. Jabs takes the kill onto Monet. 3 heroes dead, over a minute on all of them.
And now,
you really don't need creep waves.
Well, I don't know if they're going to take this tower, but they did the unpredictable thing. LFY did not expect Mineski to be there.
They looked. It was almost a bait having Mushi on the bottom lane. He was attacking through the backdoor regeneration. Now 4 heroes without buyback, and they're not even going for the racks. They don't want any melee racks taken, and GG! LFY just call it. Not a single melee racks will die, and Mineski 2-0. They take the game against LFY, eliminating them from ESL One, and getting themselves a berth into that quarterfinal.
They just had amazing performances this game. Like, Moon on the mid lane dominated in last hits. Jabs had like the most incredible support Nature's Prophet play that I've seen, and they just transitioned.
Did that hurt Mushi? Did that hurt? Just slap the crap out of his hand. If Mushi has trouble in the next game, you know he's got a fracture.
That's okay. He's got some time off. He can heal a little bit here, feel good about their victory. Very few mistakes, super sick plays, and just always putting LFY in the back foot.
Man, terrific. Terrific from Mineski. I cannot wait to see more of these guys during the main event. Oh, just terrific Dota all round. The guys, of course, who know all about terrific Dota is Capitalist. Let's go to him.
Thanks, Toby. You guys need to get a room or something. Fantastic play from Mineski. A 2-0 victory over LFY. It means they now make the top 6 in this particular competition at ESL One Birmingham. It also means they're just one best of 3 away from even more DPC points. If they were a little on edge before in that 5th place in the DPC standings, I think they're feeling a little bit more secure after that victory. Gents, straightforward in the end, I think, would be the fair assessment of this overall series.
If you saw in that ending segment, apparently Ice has a good relationship with Super. Instead of doing the farewell handshake, you just slapped his hand.
Yeah.
Mineski slapped down LFY in this game too, about just as hard, so.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a microcosm of so much of the early game that you see here. They're just going on the Dragon Knight, and you know, obviously, the one gank before this, there was a beautiful block.
See, he level 7. He hit level 7.
Oh, he did. You were right.
I told you.
He rotated at level 6.
Thought I was lying.
Well, I can't tell because the Lucid teams are gold
Mushi
too.
rotated at level 6.
All right, I am very proud of you, Mushi.
Where are you at, Nahaz?
I am very proud of you. That was the early game rotations that I've been looking for from Mushi on those kinds of heroes, and I think it made a big difference in this game. But come on, guys. ways to know you're having a bad day at Dota 2. Guys, we got Vision in the Nature's Prophet, we're fine. And Rubik comes out from behind the trees and kills your courier.
Yeah.
For those of you who are wondering why I reacted that way I did, is that I told Alan backstage that Mushi rotated at level 6 and he was like, no. He was
already
level
level
7. He was already level 7. I was like, Alan, I saw the light of God that comes down when he hits level 7.
But the
after he
lucid
kills
beams are
someone
gold
with an
too.
eclipse.
It's anyway. Fine.
I'm sorry. You should have brought your glasses, Alan.
Wow, just rough day for me, guys. Rough day.
You've had a fun day.
I have.
You've had a Miracle Invoker. You've had a Pain win.
And
Is there any more fanboying? I can't remember what other teams you like.
I hoped to see LFY make a better series this, but the problem really in this game, I thought this was not a draft win. I thought LFY definitely had a chance to win the game, but really everything went, after the first blood, everything went against them in the early game, and you also saw a little bit of why Earth Spirit's no longer in the meta. This hero's early levels got nerfed so hard when roaming was OP, and you could see in the first 4 or 5 minutes of this game, he didn't really have a place in lane.
Yeah, this poor sniper, I think one of the best advantages of the sniper versus Luna matchup is that you're such a hard high ground hero to push into, right? But I think in this meta, it's very difficult to be able to come back into the game once you're locked into high ground for a couple reasons. I think that once tier 3s are gone, Shrine is gone. But I think one of the big changes recently that happened was that the bounty runes, every 5 minutes, it gives so much gold that when you control the map like you do, add in the fact that Roshan gives you that refresher shard at round 3 and Cheese at round 2. Like, there's so many incentives to be in control of the map and be the ones, you know, having the opportunity to take all the bounty runes and have the opportunity to do Roshan whenever you want, that it's very tough to be able to come back in that situation.
It's partly, we talked about this now, it's partly why I like that change, because the bounty runes give you a reason to be on the map apart from Roshan as the game goes on. And I think you saw that Mineski just, especially behind the support Nature's Prophet, that really felt more and more impactful as the game went on. They controlled the map from start to finish.
All right, gonna get more from our, excuse me, we're gonna get more from our panel members in just a moment, but let's bring in Sir Action Slacks, who I believe has found Jabs to have a chat with him on a fine Mineski victory.
Right you are, Red Eye. Hello, hello. I've got Jabs here with me. Sir, an incredible series. You guys seem almost effortless going in there. Such aggression. Are you feeling like big dogs now? That was quite an aggressive series. What? Do you feel aggressive? You're feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Like, we can play the main stage tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. I want to talk to you about Nature's Prophet. That was an incredible display. A lot of new heroes are coming out now in the meta that seem to be super strong. What's the most important thing about playing a support Nature's Prophet?
I think it's like, it seemed to work to me. Yeah, I think I understand the French quite well, and then, yeah.
Any reason why the boots took so long on that one? You had some empty times there. Not a lot of items, but you still made a lot of things happen. Is that just because Nature's Prophet is a good hero?
I think it's like the Nature's Prophet is like a fast hero. You can fly anywhere, and then you got ulti for a team fight. Yeah.
All right, more points are coming your way. You guys are going up and up on the ladder. I know you're aiming for first, right? But where do you guys think you're going to end up at this tournament? Are you going for that first place spot?
I'm not sure. Like, now it's VP quite strong, one of the strongest in this tournament, and then I think the list is like normal. Yeah, but we try to aim like maybe top 2 first.
Well, top 2 is a goal, but after plays like that, wouldn't be surprised to see you guys heading for that #1 spot. But we'll see some more from you guys soon. Thank you very much, Jabs. We'll throw it right on back to you guys.
Thanks very much. Yep, thanks very much, Sir Action Slacks. Alongside Jabs and Mineski winning that one by 2-0. We're going to get more from our panel members in just a moment. But why don't we check in with the Play Faster moment by Vodafone today, because we definitely had a very fast moment today. It features Weeha from Pain Gaming stealing away the ages from underneath the noses of Team Liquid. It doesn't get much faster than that, chaps.
It all comes down to this King RD hook shot, right? He makes the play. Not just that, but the fact he immediately moves to cogs in the heroes inside of the cogs, but away from Roshan, right? If he hooks in immediately cogs, that play looks very, very different. Matumba Man is very likely to grab the Aegis for himself.
Yeah, I think that definitely deserved the Vodafone Play Faster moment of the day. It was a
Absolutely.
brilliant one today. Not that yesterday's was any different, because we also had a great one yesterday. We've been spoiled by the faster moments of the first 2 days. Let's check in with the results today as well. We've also had, of course, the first place deciders today. Virtus Pro stomping through that one 2-0. Optic coming out on top against OG in effectively the playoff match for the semi-final, which means Optic are now in the top 4.
Second major in a row that an NA team has finished in the top 4 and not EG.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Crazy.
For them. Yeah, we go back to our 3 results, of course, during the day. We started the day off with Fnatic versus Spirit. Fnatic winning that one by 2-1, but then we had that incredible Group B match-off in the decider between Liquid and Pain Gaming. Pain Gaming coming out on top yet again after beating them earlier on in the group stage and having coming back from behind. And then you've just seen Group C concluded with Mineski winning 2-0 over LFY, which means the group stages are done. It also means we have a bracket for you. Our final 6 teams are now thrown into that bracket, and as you can see, Virtus Pro get a bye at the top because they're already through to the semi-finals, as the Optic Gaming at the bottom of the screen. The middle, though, is where the meat is. Pain will take on Mineski. The winner will face Virtus Pro, and OG and Fnatic will go head-to-head again, and the winner will play Optic Gaming. All of those teams are guaranteed a top 6 finish. We just don't know the order yet.
I feel quite bad for Pain.
You feel quite bad for Pain because,
dude.
because
They have
got
to go
quite a tough road.
They have to play against Mineski, and then if
Yes.
they beat Mineski, they have to play
They've got some
major champions.
CIS team from Virtus Pro, I think, something like that. They get to play. It's fine, right? No problem. They've beaten Liquid.
Hey, you got to take out the TI champs
Go
to get
Pain,
there.
you could do it.
It does look tough. I admit. Yeah. I should also mention that we've also got our MVP by Mercedes-Benz, which is now open. So if you've seen any other plays that you like today, or any particular players that you like, please head to the link below and cast your vote for the Mercedes-Benz MVP. Have you guys got any close? I know you don't like doing it until the final day, but has anyone stood out for you today?
Tavo.
Yeah, Taro?
Absolutely. Yeah, this
Okay.
guy brought back the same level of play that we saw from him against Secret, and then almost beating EG on stage at the Kiev Major. I thought he was every bit as good on that Pango today.
I was actually going to say another Pain member, which was King RD. So I'm glad we both focused on Pain. Get your early MVP votes in now.
Do it. Come on, South America.
Okay.
We know you're there.
Yeah, they're definitely there, that's for sure. All right, thank you very much, chaps. And thank you for tuning in for day number 2 here at ESL One Birmingham. The group stages are done. 12 became 6, and tomorrow we will enter the arena as those 6 will go head-to-head, and we'll start things off with both of the quarterfinals. Pain Gaming will be back in action. Can they bring some more samba to the middle of Birmingham? We'll find out as day 3 starts at ESL One Birmingham. We'll see you tomorrow.
From Biver, keeping Team Spirit alive. They are going to look to send back G, but G's already down. Arbed kills him quickly. FNG with the Glimmer Cape will be able to juke him away for the time being, but Illidan won't be as lucky. Arbed gets the double kill. Phobos still trying to play around with him as he goes for the Berserker's call, but they'll surround him, and with 2 dead on Spirit, there's no chance of keeping Phobos alive. But Arbed, very quick to zip, and he's got the Hex saved, as well as the Silence, which will get Dark Pacted off, but of course the Hex will not be removed. This game is just an absolute mess from Fnatic. Team Spirit, their lineups work perfectly so far. Bottom lane DJ will come forward onto FNG. FNG going for the TP, and he's going to get...
Got 2 K gold. They're applying a lot of pressure on this mid tower. G gets hit by the Shadow Strike as well, jumping quite low.
Look at that, yeah, one quick burst at the screen, he's down to half. He's going to look to zip forward, see if they can catch out Arbed with the help of back with the supports, but once we're in down, Arbed.
Sender Ward.
Oh, Arbed, he's in.
Oh my goodness.
Try and open up onto him. Mystic Flare will be dropped down, but they're able to get themselves out the side of it. So DJ dodges that one out. Envy pops the horn. He wants to join in.
He wants some last hits.
Arbed,
That Radiance.
has the vision there with the illusions to find Biver as well.
This is the classic Admiral Bulldog play that he popularized when he was on Alliance.
We are in some serious trouble. Doesn't actually have the mana to be able to transform anymore. A Sunstrike right on the money.
They're saying like, oh, when we want TI, and Hold that thought again as Weehaw gonna get caught on, but he gets the kill first
Just
on
blows
Burrow.
up the Rubik. GH gonna make sure that Weehaw does die for killing his captain. But, whoa, Duster! He actually came in super low. Miracle spots that, immediately turns on him, gets the axes. He only needs one more round of axes. The ensnare goes out. Duster, can he juke this out? The axe, still lands on a Miracle. He snipes it out, gets a roar onto the Naga Sire. Triple kill for Miracle. Down. Now they're gonna be able to hit some of the stuns. Thanks to that ball, blink back in. They make sure they just blow up the Beastmaster. Don't let him get anything off. But Kuro, he also stole that. He's gonna be able to roll around, tries to go for Weehaw. He's gonna land on both of them. That's a nice stun. Down. They managed to get a fade bolt. That'll finish him off. Tavo blinks his way into the trees, trying to get out with that swashbuckle. But Tavo Man in hot pursuit, but a blink dagger goes down first before the dark pack could land. Mind control the back lines. And Nightshark does reveal Tavo, and he'll die next to Mind Control, who's snagged up. They gotta get in there. They gotta start getting the Firestorm out already. It's at half HP with the Corrosive Haze as well as the Solar Crest. They don't put out the most physical damage though. So maybe Pain, he lines up, but they're gonna try and get inside the Roshan pin. Managed to get Conks onto 2. He's Roshan's out of it. They can't get into him. It's huge. They can't take them all down. The Age is picked up, and that is gonna be like when wiped inside the Roshan pin. GH is trying to focus.
The YOLO, he looks for an Alpha. He's stolen Aegis before, hiding inside the sandstorm. Burrow strikes in. Alpha, he snatches the Aegis. Oh boy, I love it when he does that. The Aegis Immortal is going to burn super, keeping that Pulse Nova going. Ice has to keep the distance, but not for much longer. Moon's up. Sniper, the assassination, Dragon Tail stun has to be used to cancel. The Jabugi's got the distance, but now Moon, 3 euros behind him. Arfu, no rolling boulder yet. Here comes your TP in from Mushi. He wants to help out, so the Luna hiding inside the fog of war for the moment. The dual breath connect on 3. Super is low, and yep, there's the Eclipse. Destroys not one, but